always knew I wanted to be a mom. I grew up in Mexico with a lot of telenovela-like messages all around me. I remember one commercial in particular with a girl dressed in all white, the one she just mentioned, feeding her baby, looking fabulous. Her hair was shining, big smile. She had her makeup done. She was holding her baby up and like twirling around, looking all happy. That's what motherhood looked like in my head. I just couldn't wait to hold my own baby and twirl around my house looking fabulous. I mean, it was on TV, so it had to be true, right? Sadly, I must say that my motherhood experience has not looked like that. First, it was really hard to get pregnant. It took us over 3 years of tears, frustration, anger, hurt, lots of prayers. After all of this, getting a positive result was the scariest, most exciting news I had ever received. My pregnancy went great. I felt and looked incredible. I took all the birth classes, and I just couldn't wait to hold my baby. One day when my water broke, and while at the hospital, having low amniotic fluid, I was induced right away. Things went downhill after that. They laid me in bed, injected Pitocin on me, and inserted a catheter inside of me. 44 hours later, swollen, my body was finally ready to have a baby, but my mind wasn't. I was so hungry, I was exhausted, I was in pain, I was scared. I just remember my mom on her knees crying, praying for the baby to come out. She kept telling everybody, just cut her, get the baby out. Lucky for me, they didn't cut me. That night, there was a midwife on call, and she asked everyone in the room to pray for me. She told my husband that we would give it one last try before heading to a C-section. I suddenly started choking, and my baby was finally out. Once she was out, she went straight to the NICU. She stayed there for 4 full days. When we finally left the hospital, I was still in so much pain. I was broken. I was full of hemorrhoids, bleeding, swollen, no breast milk. I felt disconnected. I was lost. I was scared. I was resentful to this baby for everything that had happened to me. People kept telling me things like, congratulations, what a blessing, enjoy this time. I was like, enjoy? Enjoy what? I'm in pain. I can't sit. My breasts are bleeding. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I feel like the lights have dimmed in my life. What happened? Why do I feel like this? There's something wrong with me. My family was all very supportive. My mom helped me with the baby. She cooked for me, gave me every remedy she found until I finally had milk. Everything was supposed to be perfect, but it wasn't. I would jump in the shower and just cry and cry. I wanted my baby so bad. Why did I feel like this? Everyone went on with their lives. And there I was, wasting my time, doing nothing productive, but just taking care of a baby. As time went by, I got used to the dim light, waiting for the day to be over, feeling empty and disconnected, guilty, ashamed. But whenever someone would ask me, I would put up a smile and say everything was great, because what kind of a mother would I be if I didn't? I decided to join a mommy group where I realized I wasn't alone and that things could feel better. One of the girls in the group invited me to a mommy running group. I had never run in my life, but I gave it a go. Running really saved my life and brought back a little light in me. Within a month, I did a 10K. Someone in the group talked about therapy, and I had never considered it because, I'm Mexican, and in my family, only crazy people get therapy. Therapy is only for weak people with real problems. And my mom told me that postpartum depression didn't exist. I mean, she had 4 kids and she never got therapy. I went against my instinct, and I can say that it was the best decision I made. Therapy gave me my life back. I learned so much about myself and became a better version of me. I grew a lot in that time. 3 years later, I had my second pregnancy, and it was a completely different story. I was determined not to fall into depression again. I had a non-medicated natural birth at the hospital, not planned. Um, and it was scary and traumatizing, but I realized how powerful my body was, how powerful I was. My sister became a mom shortly after and realized that motherhood was challenging. She had never really understood me and often judged me. Our bond grew stronger, and we realized that even when we were sisters and grew up in the same household, our parenting styles were completely different. But we still managed to include our Oaxacan traditions, like rubbing an egg on my baby to not cry. And we had the same struggles. Motherhood is so lonely, we said. It's not all white clothes and twirls. How come no one is talking about this to our girls that look like me? That's how Super Mamas was born. In 2015, we started a weekly podcast in our desire to create a non-judgment space where we could share our motherhood journey and eventually evolve into a supporting community that connects, empowers, and supports women through their mamahood journey. We have different experts on that come and talk about subjects no one talks about in the Latina community, like postpartum, like therapy, loss. This is where I met Gabrielle Kaufman from Maternal Mental Health Now, who I am so thankful for. Last year, I got pregnant again, I know, for the third time. But this time, my mindset was completely different. My husband and I decided that after 2 previous traumatic experiences at the hospital, we wanted to go with a home birth, a healing birth to close that circle with a good experience. My pregnancy was incredible. I walked on fire. I took pictures on a 2-piece bathing suit, which I had never done in my life. I dyed my hair purple, and I even did a maternity session in lingerie for my husband. I felt on top of the world. I was a true super mama. The day my baby came into the world was the most beautiful, peaceful day in our house with candles and soft music, my loved ones. My body did everything in the most harmonious way. I did it. There was no stopping me after that. If I did that, I could do anything. Then everyone left, one by one, once again. And I was left alone. I vividly remember getting up one day to go to the bathroom and felt the exact moment the light came out of me again. I looked up and I didn't recognize myself. My body was broken. I had no light. How could this happen to me again? There I was, in constant panic, having anxiety attacks, feeling that life was leaving me behind, and guilty at the same time for not being present with my baby. And because I had been on the other side, I was already a super mama, I felt even more pressure, thinking that I had to be back to my old self in no time. Otherwise, I had failed myself and everyone around me. Things got really bad. I came down with severe mastitis. That was my lowest point. I finally had the courage to call Gabrielle again. She made me feel that everything was gonna be okay. I gradually started coming out of the dark, talking to people again and sharing my experience through my social platform. It was scary at first. I feared judgment. People had seen my growth and now they would see my failures. But sharing has been a big part of my recovery. I have received amazing feedback from women who have experienced something similar, and they have helped me find a new purpose. It's only been 8 months, and I'm not completely out of the dark. It's a daily struggle, to be honest with you. But now I want to help increase the awareness of postpartum in my community. I want other girls to know that they're not alone and that there are ways to get out of the darkness. We all have a voice, and speaking up can be the best medicine we have. Thank you.